Hello everyone, welcome back for some more cross-country flight. So yeah, I started us off back in the Atlanta suburbs, and if you can see right in front of us is Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Just before we started this recording, well, I'm just gonna cut out what I don't want to be recorded, but we need to report. We've been asked to, once we leave the once we have Hartsfield-Jackson outside of our past, that we need to report clear of the Delta airspace. But first, we need to cut the throttle so that we can quickly drop to a lower altitude. So if you'll notice, that is the I-75 just below us. We will not be taking that. We will be headed to Hartsfield-Jackson, and we're going to start our move around to 85. So there's 85 over there, the one that hugs closer to the airport. Yep, that's the way we're going to be going. But we need to clear once we clear the Hartsfield-Jackson, which is right there. So if you remember, in my Phoenix helicopter tour video, I showed you guys the time multiplier, which can be shown by clicking the Alt key. You'll get a kind of a bar right up here. I don't want to pull up that bar because I don't want to cut off some of the view. So this is the 85. We're gonna merge on with the 80. We're gonna follow the 85 to the 285. We're gonna take that we're gonna continue on the 285 all the way up to Fulton County Airport, Brown Field, where we're gonna follow the 20 into Alabama. We're gonna be crossing into the first time zone. So there's Hartsfield-Jackson, so you're probably wondering. Last episode, we did end the episode, and it was like 7:44 game time. But because I started the gameplay at like 7:42, and then it took 10 minutes to fly into Atlanta downtown, it's now 7:53. But it's better than we spent a little extra time just relaxing in Atlanta. It could be the could be the fake excuse. So we're just gonna do a nice transition above the airport, and once we start following the 285, we're gonna start. We're gonna announce clear of the Delta airspace, because who knows? We could probably be canceling planes flying right now. I mean, we could probably be holding up planes from taking off. Now, they probably have a radar. They don't have to wait for us to steer clear, but just to save some time, I'm going to cut through the College Parks. I'm going to cut through College Park, which is just the name of this suburb in Atlanta that we're just gonna fly over quickly. I just didn't want you to think, college what? I don't see a college. First of all, even if there was a college, which there isn't in this area according to the map on my phone, even if there was a college, you wouldn't be able to see it because they don't do that kind of realism. So if you'll notice this road with no traffic, that's the Georgia 6. Yeah, the Georgia 6. And it cuts through, and it's gonna eventually meet up. It's gonna eventually meet up with us when we get to I-20, the Georgia 6. So you're gonna want to pay attention to that. But we will be crossing into Alabama, crossing into our first time zone. which is a big milestone in our trip. The first and last time zone, so like when we leave the Eastern time zone, which is what we're going to do today, and when we come back into the Eastern time zone through the state of in the state of Indiana, it'll probably be like the 46th or 47th episode. Alright, I'm just gonna lower the throttle a little because it looks like we're coming in too fast to the highway. Let me see our speed. 120. That's fast. But don't worry, I'm gonna cut the throttle now, and we're just gonna. Never mind. Let's just get the. Alright, I'm gonna get the speed bar. So there's the 285. Just ahead is the junction of the 285 and the Georgia 154, which turns into a local road further west. Yeah, if you'll notice, since the traffic has no concept of going of road over road, ramp over ramp, highway over highway, it just turned into a mess. That was the junction we didn't see, because we came through Atlanta on the 85 last time, so you didn't see this. But we're on the 285 right now. I mean, no, you didn't see the 85 and the 154, because we headed on to approach. Alright, so I think we're a little too low to the ground. I'm just going to increase the throttle a touch. Maybe increase our altitude. So the next highway junction is going to be the I-285 and the I-20 junction, where we're going to take the I-20 westbound. We'll pass by the Fulton County Airport. And just after the Fulton County, we're gonna when we get to Fulton County, it's gonna be the Georgia 70. But after we cross the river and go through the town of Mableton, yeah, we're gonna run into the Georgia 6, which I just showed you. I made some modifications in the settings, but I don't want to talk about them right now because I don't want to jinx everything. You'll know what I mean later. I just don't want to say anything now. What I don't get is why there's 3 lanes of traffic going southbound, and there's only 1 lane of traffic going northbound. Like, what in the world? Is there like an HOV lane that the game can't generate? No, I can completely understand why they didn't want to, like, have cars on the side roads and on the local roads, because it would just... Actually, I don't get it, like, why they don't have it on, like, on US 278, which will be parallel to, and just once we turn on I-20. If you just looked a little bit farther up, Hold on a second, let me just quickly pause. Hold on, what is this? Because, oh, I see. Yeah, if you were to look just a little bit farther, maybe about there, that would be the US 278. Yeah, this is a little confusing junction, so let me explain what I see on my phone map. I see that this is I-20 East, that's the continuation of the I-285, and that's 20 West. That's what I'm getting at. Because you see, it says here that 285 takes a slight left, 20 goes to the right, and west goes to the left. But we're going west into Alabama, so we better go this way. And now, this has just turned into the first leg of the western journey from Atlanta, Georgia, to El Monte, California. El Monte, California is basically the airport in Los Angeles where we're going to conclude our westbound trip. We just concluded our southbound trip from Danbury, Connecticut to Atlanta, Georgia just then. Now we're gonna start our journey from Atlanta to El Monte, California. We're gonna be landing in San Gabriel El Monte Airport in California. But that's like 13 or 14 episodes from now. So, guessing in the winter, like December or January, we're gonna be getting to that. Then maybe by February or March, we'll get to North. I don't know. I don't even want to worry about it right now. This point, I just want to worry about getting west. Getting out of Georgia and into Alabama. But before we get into Alabama, we still have quite a lot of Georgia to get through. Currently, this is the what river? I want to make sure I want to know what this river's called. Oh, this is interesting. If you looked over... Hold on a second. Let me just... Not just over the river. If you look over here, that's Six Flags Over Georgia. Six Flags Over Georgia's right there. That's interesting. Well, at least now you know how to get from... Well, at least now you know when you go from, when you land at Atlanta Airport and you want to go straight to Six Flags, at least you know the way. Just off I-20. And that's not the Georgia 6, actually. That's just the road to the amusement park, Riverside Parkway. I know, I sound like an expert. I've never even been to Georgia. Well, drive from Connecticut to Florida I haven't, but not this part of Georgia. I've never been on the I-20, how about that? That's better. And this is the fun part of, like if this wasn't a flying trip, and this was a road trip, then this is the fun of a road trip. You're just flying, and we're gonna be leaving the foresty, because remember, for the past 8 or 9 episodes, I forget, I think it's 9 episodes, but I could be wrong. I can just find out when I'm done, but, yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know where the Georgia 6 is. That might be it, but it might not. Nah, that's not the Georgia 6. I'll show you where it is. This is the Georgia 6, the one we're crossing right now. That's just a small little pond. I don't have the name of it on the phone map. We're currently in Lithia Springs. That's Georgia 6. Alright, so this is the Georgia 6, the road that we just saw. Alright, so since we just crossed over the Georgia 6, you can kind of say that... So this is the Sweetwater Creek, before I continue. This is the Sweetwater Creek. What a weird name, because because it's good, well, it's at least they didn't call it the Saltwater Creek, because that would just be really... Not good, because it's not a saltwater. I think there is such thing as a saltwater creek, but I'm not sure. Maybe we should oh, I forgot to... Shoot, I forgot to report clear of the Class Delta airspace. Let's make sure that they know. Yeah, alright. Tune Air Atlanta departure. I don't want to hit this cell tower, or whatever this is, radio tower. I don't care what it is. I don't want to hit it. Oh, we're so much higher than that thing. Oh, we're still waiting for them to contact us. There we go. Squawk 3372. Oh, now they're gonna radar contact us. I can't believe we forgot to report clear of the Delta airspace. Alright. But there's still a lot of places of Georgia that we need to... Actually, we're not that much farther from Alabama. But we're still on Georgia time. We're still on Eastern. A nice 67 degrees. Oh, shoot. We've got a... Is that a mix-up in traffic? Oh, no, it isn't. It's just, a small... You see, the path goes, like... Kind of like that. I can't really track it very well, because the camera keeps moving. But that's how it is. We just watch all the traffic down below, and they're all like... Look at that Cessna just bypassing all the traffic. I wish I had a pilot's license. They probably do wish. Probably not the truckers, though. The truckers just probably, are just thinking, well, look over yonder. Look over yonder. There's a Cessna flying over. Look at him. I wish all of our goods on this trailer, could be on that plane. It'd get to Louisiana way faster. You guys are probably gonna ask me, speaking of Louisiana, are we going through New Orleans? And we're not going through New Orleans, by the way. We're not going through New Orleans. New Orleans is way too far south. We're taking the 20 all the way. But we will be passing by Shreveport, which is someplace in Louisiana. I know nothing about Louisiana. Oh, by the way, I found out Atlanta. I think I found out Atlanta's the gateway to the South. That's what's famous about Atlanta. Oh, and speaking of Atlanta, I didn't want to tell you this because I didn't want to jinx the crashing of the game. I got the I changed some of the settings, like of the graphics and all that, to kind of make the game. And I found out that you shouldn't have target frame rate on 20, because that's what kept the game. But if the game can handle 30, now it will, and won't stay at 20. But if you set it at 30, like what we're doing now, yeah. So we're gonna know, like, right away when we cross into Alabama. Oh wait, we are gonna know right away, because look at that white line that you just saw, because that's gonna get us into that's gonna tell us when we get to Alabama. Looks like we're about 50 minutes away, which is pretty close. Means we got a while to go before we get there, but oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you where we're going. We're going to a place called Pell City, Alabama. That's where we're going. I forgot to tell you guys. Because if I don't tell you, because if I don't tell you now, we're gonna cross into Alabama and start our approach and I'm gonna be like, oh, I forgot, and I'd be like, oh, I forgot, we're going to Pell City, and then you'd be like, why didn't you tell us this earlier? So yeah, I'm telling you now. Let me just increase the throttle just another touch. Alright, good enough. So I am so glad that we just finally got out of Atlanta, because it was driving me crazy for like 2 weeks. Get us out of Atlanta. Get us out of Atlanta. Get us out of Atlanta. Then I tried fixing those some of the graphics, and not the graphics, but some of the settings, and I was like, yes, it works. And then all of a sudden, no, game crash, no. Well, look, there's our shadow over there. That means that we're actually over that house right now, and we're not over the highway. The shadow kind of tells you, like, where your plane is. So, if you don't know where your plane is, just look at the shadow. It'll easily tell you. Alright, so I just seriously and honestly want to know where we are, because we're lost. We're not lost. We know where we're going. But I just want to know where we are, because you know. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, towns we're going to be going through all the way, that we're probably in right now. But there's Douglasville, Winston, Villarica, Temple, Bremen, Waco, and then we get into Alabama. Then you have Heflin, Oxford, Estaboga, Lincoln, and then you get to Pell City. So yeah, those are Georgia and Alabama towns that we'll be going through. No big cities. Alright, so remember when I said that there was gonna be no forest? Well, I just proved myself wrong, because there's a forest right there, and I'm trying to find the name of this thing. Looks like this is the... Is it this tiny little pool, right? Not pool, but just a small bit of water right there. Can't be this. Well, it could. Alright, whatever. Let's just continue. Let's check out nearest airport list, because you know... Chattahoochee. What's more tongue-twisting than Chattanooga? Chattahoochee. Colibri. Okay. Stockmar. Lucky Lairds. How lucky are you? Wilson International. Falcons Airy. Hilltop was just there. Air South. Fulton is still showing up. Two Rocks, Treadwell, McIntosh, Andy's Field, Beckfield, Coleman Field. Not many funny names. Dresden. What's up with all the German towns? I just saw Bremen, and there's Dresden. What in the world? Willow Pond Aviation Incorporation. They go pretty far. And then Gum Creek. No offense to people living near Gum Creek. I think this just might give us a location data. No way we just got all the way past Winston. No way we're already past Winston? Well, the only way to be able to tell that is if us to check these. Stockmar, Pinewood. Yeah, because we just saw Bremen. And there's Dresden. What's up with all the German names? This is Georgia. Georgia's Asian. Well, Georgia's not Asian, but... Georgia's the... Not that Georgia's Asian, but Georgia is the name of a Middle Eastern country. You probably knew that already. So it's really interesting. Someone comment why why Georgia has such a relationship, not a relationship, but such a relation with Germany. All these German names. Lucky Winston. But then you have the Mexican names like Villarica, English names like Temple, and then just normal names. Like Tallapoosa. Well, Tallapoosa, Alabama. That doesn't sound anything like... I'm trying to think of what Tallapoosa sounds like. Tallapoosa. Kinda sounds African, but I don't want to judge, so we'll leave that undecided. But in my opinion, it's because you kind of know... I don't want to say anything about it. Tallapoosa. But that's not American. Well, it might be Native American. Kind of, but it's not, North or South American. It's either European or Asian, or African. But it's not American. No way. Or Australian. It could be Australian, though. Tallapoosa. Didgeridoo. Well, okay, that's an object. That's an instrument, to be exact. What else in Australia? There's a wallaby. What else? Queensland Kangaroo. Kangaroo, what was the name again? Oh no, Tallapoosa is Georgia. Muscadine is when you're getting into Alabama. But no, Tallapoosa is in Georgia. So Tallapoosa in Georgia. Tallapoosa maybe just sounds normal, normal Western. It's not even Western. Alabama's nowhere near West. Alright, so now we're coming up to this, river. So what does that mean? We don't know. Well, we're gonna find out. Did we already cross into a next time zone? Oh, we crossed into Alabama already. Yay, we crossed into Alabama. Okay, we didn't cross into Alabama yet. We crossed into our next time zone, but we didn't cross into Alabama yet. But we did cross into the time zone, which is cool. I'm just trying to find out what this place is called, and I'm not looking at the sky, which is just something that you don't do. You normally look where you're going, in case anything happens. Oh, never mind, I found out what this is called, but I'm not going to tell you till we get there. Now, because I've been looking at the phone map the entire time, I need to now drop Snowtooth. This isn't a river, by the way. This is something called Lake Buckhorn. Interesting name. And just south there is Hickory Level Airfield. We're now coming into the town of Temple, Georgia. But I gotta say, I didn't know that that Georgia still went on, that part of Georgia went on a central time zone. We didn't cross into Alabama, so I was like, yeah, okay. And you're probably thinking, well, why didn't you, like, celebrate when you went through the time zone? Well, first of all, I didn't know that that part of Georgia went on Central Time Zone. And I thought we could wait for Alabama. But right now we're in Temple. This is the exit in Temple. Next coming up is Bremen and Waco. Waco is, a town in Washington, I think. Washington State. Obviously not Washington, D.C., because Washington, D.C., that is the place. Well, all the vehicles are just appearing and reappearing. That's what I hate about this, but I think I have an idea on why they do that. They do that because the highway isn't just one straight line of length. The highway that we're flying over is just simply a, by the way, I'm not holding the joystick right now. I'm not holding it, but I will have to soon. But it's segments, so when one segment runs out, traffic's just not going to keep going on to the next segment. Because this is a 2006 game, it's going to be turning 10 years old this game will be 10 years old next week on Monday. And I'm trying to figure this out because, oh, I forgot, before I start talking about what's going to happen that day, if we're going to be doing FSX that day by coincidence or not, let me just tell you what's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're bringing back City Skylines, and you're probably thinking, oh, sure, yeah, tomorrow, oh, sure, Thursday, we're going to be seeing a video of American Truck Sim and Knowing You're Lying. And that could happen, yeah, but I'm going to try my best to get City Skylines episode up. We're going to redo our Great Singhamton. We're going to redo it. We're going to start taking notes on our new Great Singhamton. And, you know, we're going to try to have frequent episodes at first, so. However, I wanted to show you guys, maybe on Saturday, or even on the FSX anniversary, I don't know yet. But, we're gonna be doing, an acrobatic flight, because, you know, most of my subscribers I know in person, and now if you're watching this and you don't know me, well, congratulations, you're one of my only, subscribers that I don't know. Like, I only have, like, 2 or 3 subscribers that don't know me. I think actually 3 now, because some guy... Somehow this guy that, subscribed to me, actually, I don't want to talk about it. I won't say anything. But I'm just saying, yeah, one person did subscribe, earlier. But, I mean, that I don't know. But now it's 3. Anyway, but we're doing an acrobatic flight because one of the subscribers that I actually know said that my videos are boring. And, something very expected from someone who doesn't know the art of PC simulation. Which is pretty much what this entire channel is about. Which is why the channel name has the words PC simulation in them. Sorry if I just sounded the way I sounded, but I'm just trying to make a point. That's the point of this video. I mean, this channel. This isn't about fooling around. However, we might fool around every once in a while. Like when we... What episode did we fool around in? I forget. Well, the helicopter thing kind of was fooling around, but at least we were still flying it. So I think the acrobatic kind of flight is going to, the acrobatic flight's kind of going to, cover up from what this fan wants to see. Because this fan wants to see some messing around. And it's not going to be messing around exactly. It's going to be for a purpose. But we're going to, like, do something cool for us. I mean, I don't understand how the helicopter thing wasn't cool enough. Or the fact that we're just flying over scenic countryside. Or driving into a sunset in American Truck Sim. Or, I don't know, doing a nice flight in, FSX, because we're doing a flight out of Phoenix next time we do a jetliner flight, but I don't want to spoil the surprise on where we're gonna go. But you will be really surprised on the destination that Phoenix actually has that's like 5 or maybe not 5 or 6. Those are probably code shares, but like 2 or 3 daily flights too. You won't believe the route. Not that it's like... Not that I'm, like, trying to offend people who will... But... Honestly, I didn't know... To be honest, it was more of a surprise than more of me humiliating them. It was just a surprise that this route was actually, like, flown frequently on. It's a surprise you can actually fly from Phoenix to this airport. I don't think you can fly from JFK to this airport, John F. Kennedy International, in New York, but who knows? Could be possible. So we're probably past Bremen now, but I could check on the nearest airport list. Quickly, we're not going to read any, Oh no, they don't show, Bremen, they only show Dresden, right. But we're nowhere near Alabama yet, are we? No, we're nowhere near Alabama. Alright, so... Yeah, so we're gonna do acrobatics in a cool place. In a cool place. I'm not gonna tell you where we're gonna be doing these acrobatics. I know, but you don't. All I can tell you is that it's not in America. Any America. North America, South America, Latin America, Central America. Canadian America. No. It's not in any America. And I didn't mean... And no offense to people in Canada, if you heard what I meant. But yeah. So we're gonna be doing that. Look forward to that. Probably on Saturday or Monday. If it's on Monday, it's gonna be the FSX 10-year anniversary. And what I hate about games is that by the time, because games like this, 10 years later, we've already got Dovetail Flight School, which which is a new game that came out this May or this June, or I don't know. And it's a new game, but I think we'll stick with this flight simulator because this one's cool, and I haven't actually seen much of Dovetail Flight School, and I kind of like this simulator because it's kind of like classic. Not that it's classic, but it's what I have. I'm not getting another simulator, especially since we've started cross-country flight. And this is gonna probably, even though I said it's gonna take 9 months to complete this series, that was based on 5 or 6 episodes a month. And in August, I don't even think we had 4 episodes. We had like 3 or 4 episodes in August. So I'm estimating a year. And I also told you, when I go on that month-long trip outside the country, I know, it's crazy that I have to go for a month, but my family believes that if you don't go for a month, it's not worth going there. So, yeah. But I'm gonna make sure to keep, and plus, that's another 8 months away. But come on, 8 months away, that's 200 and... I don't know, maybe 200 and... I don't know, well, there's 8 months. Multiply that by 30, and you pretty much get 240. But then it's gonna be toward the end of the month, so it might be like 260 days. And 260 days doesn't feels like a lot, but it isn't. But it isn't, because before you know it, it's going to be March. And by the time May comes, I have to start recording every single day, even during school. And then when we go on that 3-day school field trip, it's not even a field trip. Because it's not a field trip, it's not a trip. And you'll notice that if you, like, have that you'll notice that you have, like, a fun trip in middle school. If you have a fun trip when you go to middle school. Exactly. I'm gonna have to make... Well, I have already done all the calculations on, like, the days that I have to... Because it's pretty much an algorithm based on when I have to do it each day. Because it's kind of like an algorithm. Let me just figure it out for a couple seconds before I tell you. So I'm just gonna be quiet and you can enjoy the scenery for maybe like 20 or 30 seconds. I'm gonna have to do, yeah, because when I go on that 3-day field trip in in June, I'm gonna have to, if I wasn't going on this trip, I'd only have to do 1 episode that entire time, so I'm only gonna need to do maybe like 1 episode, and maybe like, I'll record it in May, because I have to start the, and once I go on this month-long vacation after school ends, basically what's gonna happen is, in May, what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna upload videos, but they're gonna be less often. Like, instead of every other day, it might be every 4 to 5 days, but you'll still get content. So I'm gonna have to literally make I'm gonna literally have to make like 10, in between 10 and 15 videos in May. So, on top of that, I have to make videos that I'm gonna be posting during this insane month-long trip. Okay, well, I know when you probably do a kind of trip like this, you probably only go for a couple of weeks, but you know, it's just how it is right now. So in May, every other day, I have to make a video that I'm gonna be posting when I'm not even in this country. Then, the next day, I have to do a video where I have to do a video where why am I so stuck? And then I have to do a video that I'm gonna be posting that night, or that day, if it's a weekend or a day off from school. And it'll just get really crazy after a while, but I don't want to talk any more about it because it's a really long time away. But I'm just planning ahead according to another YouTuber that I watched who only had to go away and this YouTuber had to go away for a week, but he did videos during that week, and it was crazy for him. So it's gonna be crazy for me just having to record every single day of the week, the same amount of. Because let's face it, I get plenty of time to chill when I don't have to do an episode. But when I have to do an episode, now it's not like I'm complaining about having to do it. It's actually fun. But then, contact Birmingham approach. I was gonna talk about Birmingham Sunday in my video, but since it's already been like 3 weeks since the 51st time of that, I'm not gonna go into details. Plus, we're not even going into Birmingham. We're only crossing into Alabama and a little bit from there. Right, so McMinn. Wonder what the Min stands for. Is that a last name, or are they talking about a small airport? C&R Farm. Ashland and Lineville is just a town, obviously. Talladega, headquarters, simple name, with the Alpha Lima there. Panacea, I don't know how to pronounce that. Lucky Laird's is still there. Lions Landing, I'm landing in Lions Landing. You're gonna cross into his path? No. And then that's how you get confused. I love making those stories up about people getting confused over little stuff. Are we in Alabama? Yes, we're in Alabama, guys. And no, I can't sing Sweet Home Alabama because I actually found out that it's not actually talking about Alabama in that song. I actually found that out. So, and I've already told you about it, so you don't need to worry. So we're in Alabama. We've probably just gone by Heflin. Then we're going to go through Oxford, East Aboga, Lincoln, and then Pell City is maybe like 20, 30, 40 miles from Birmingham. And that's where we're going to be concluding the episode, in Pell City. And then next episode, we're going to be crossing into Birmingham. And also, what I told you about City Skylines, let me change to City Skylines. What we have to do about City Skylines is we just need to, we need to write notes down. So, for example, we don't need to write down what we did in the episode. We need to say something like, I don't know, the things that we did in the episode, like if we ended the episode with building a park, or building a new skyscraper, or raising the taxes, we're going to put a reminder there to turn down the taxes. Then we're going to put in a to-do list for what we have to do at the start of the episode. So, for example, if I turned up the taxes, I need to put a note down that says, turn down the taxes once you get the game running. Or build some more residential zones, or build more commercial. Or once we get into office building, build some more office. It's pretty simple. But it just turns back to the fact that, I don't know, when we're doing acrobatics, like, because I still don't know what we're doing Saturday on Earth. Not like my personal plans, but like what we're doing for gaming purposes. Because I forget if we were doing something on that day, if we were planning something. We might do more City Skylines that Saturday. Or we might do a flight from Phoenix to that anonymous city that we shall not reveal in this episode. Or we may just do some total surprise thing. Who knows? I don't even know. Well, it's not that I don't know, but I just haven't planned it yet. So guys, we've just crossed into new territory, Alabama. Next episode, I hope we get through, what's the state called? It's Mississippi? It's Mississippi. We'll probably be most likely be crossing into Mississippi at the, probably the end of next episode. Because by the time we get to Pell City, we still have more than half of Alabama to get through before we can even enter Mississippi. You know what, we probably will enter Mississippi next episode. Then we have to worry about Louisiana. It's also nice to just take a look at the nice Alabama scenery. You wouldn't expect Alabama to look like this. Well, you might. But Alabama is the first state in alphabetical order. So when you sing that alphabetical state song, you start off with Alabama, because that's the first one that you're going to go through. Then you would go to Alaska, and I'm not going to continue with the rest of the states, because it doesn't really matter. Sounds like Alabama kind of has some sense with, like, the American Indians. Yeah. Alabama. Because the continued usage of that A and the B together. Alabama, but... And it's not far enough west to be considered like Western, and it's too far east to be considered Indian territory. So I don't know what it is about Alabama. Like, what was it named after? I know Connecticut was after American Indians, and Pennsylvania was William Penn, and Delaware, I don't know. I'm trying to think of any others that I know. Massachusetts is also American Indian. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, like, in the West to be like, Indian. American Indian, not Indian. American Indian. Alright, so we're 15 minutes away. We're probably close enough. So let's see what we get here. Anniston Metro. It's metropolitan, pretty much. Coosa. St. Clair County. There we go. We can select the runway for landing. So, before we divert from the Alabama I-20, which is pretty much what you're gonna call it, I'm just gonna lose some altitude. I'm gonna cut the engines, I'm not gonna shut them off, but I'm not cut the engines, cut the throttle until we reach far enough below the ground so that, because I'm tired of being that high above all this scenery. You get a nicer view when you're higher up, but I just don't want it. I want to get closer to the highway. And then the biggest mystery is about perspective is that bus. Yeah, it looks like that bus is like... Alright, I seriously do not want to, like, drive straight into that wall. Alright, so we set the winds to about 30. So 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 1, 2. That's 8. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. That's 12. No, hold on. No, it's only 10, actually. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yeah. Don't necessarily need the phone anymore. You can place it here. Well, we're gonna need it, but not yet. Maybe we'll just place it here. Alright, so 20, so that's 30 and 8. So it looks like we'll take 2, which is basically a north runway. So I want a full stop. And we're coming in. We're coming into Kilo Papa Lima Romeo. But we don't have it yet, so we're just gonna start to turn a little bit this way, just to be facing it. Now we'll just be going not directly west, but just about west. Now we're just gonna completely bypass the highway. So what airport's that? Oh right, I can't find out here. We have to find out on this map. We have to zoom in once. Twice. Okay, Kilo Alpha November Bravo. Okay. Make sure to stay close to that west indicator. We do about that good. That's good. Now let's just pour on the throttle so that we get there faster. Goodbye, Interstate 20. We'll see you next episode. So pretty much now we're just going full throttle. 21 nautical miles. That's the time. Just fly over some nice countryside. This looks like more like the true scenery because the houses just are kind of there we go. Over here. Alright. Closer to the I-20 than I expected. Apparently, we're coming back closer to the I-20. Hold on a second. Let's find out what this river's called. Oh, it's not. It's called the Logan Martin Lake. Okay. Yeah, we have to come in from the south and come in north, so we kind of need to go a little bit farther than the oh, that's it right there. Don't tell me that's it. Nah, that's Tango Delta Golf. We still have to go past that lake, the Logan Martin Lake, before we even get close. Don't tell me that's it. That can't be it. I just need to see the perspective again. Nope, you can tell. It's way over there. No way. It would be pointing down there. If you didn't notice, I changed the call sign. In case you didn't notice, you probably did. Maybe we should just go on this view for the rest of the trip. Just so you guys can get an idea, and so I can get an idea. Just every time we need to look at the gauges, I just lift the yoke up, and it's there. You know what, this is just boring, and you're probably yelling at me too. That's not it, we're landing across the lake. Sometimes it's just time to just let go of that yoke and just let it fly itself without autopilot. I think I can see it. Right there, I'll keep the cursor pointed at it. If that's it. But we could find out right now. Sure is it. Temperature just keeps dropping. I don't know why. Before we know it, it's gonna be like 30 degrees in the middle of Texas, and there's gonna be snow all over the place, and we're just gonna be sitting here flying, wondering why we even play this game. Or not why we play not why we play this game, but why we if that happens, I'm setting the temperature to be like to be desert temperature in Texas. I don't even know what the temperature is in Texas in this summer. Would have been interesting to see this place in the winter. let me rephrase that. It would be very interesting to see this in the winter. Don't know if it gets that cold here. We're coming in. So now we need to... Says we come over the Logan Martin Lake. There's a de Havilland -8, which is just also Bombardier. Now let's see a better perspective. Yeah, we're gonna need to just turn a little to the left. A little to the left. So that we can get a good landing. We've got a nav mode. With this... But you can also turn it to GPS, but we'll leave it on nav mode. I'm still, like, wondering where this, airfield is. Oh, I think I see it. I think I see it. I see it. I see it. You mean I do see it. I do see it. And let me prove that it's there. It's right there. Let's go. We need to land this sucker. You're probably wondering where. But now I'm gonna say, on the runway. But first, I'm not putting up flaps until... Well, first of all, we should probably get a lower altitude, because trying to fly into that place at this altitude will be impossible. So we're just gonna dramatically cut the throttles, what we already have, and we're just gonna plummet toward the ground, or so you think we are. Well, we are plummeting toward the ground, but not for long. I have honestly just turned off the throttle, not turned it off. But now I'm gonna put it, let's just keep it there. We can just descend at this rate. Once we come around, we can just easily land. I'm gonna try to line up last minute so that we just save time flying. This is unlegitimate, or whatever you call it. Not legitimate when you're flying in real life. But just to save this, I'm going to do a last minute. So I'm going to turn off the GPS because we know where the airfield is. It's right there. And I am putting down all flaps. So now, pretty much full throttle we must have full throttle for pretty much the rest of the trip. Otherwise, we will fall very... Now I'm just gonna make sure that we just glide now. Because we need to get closer to the ground. Just closer to the ground. Maybe I'll just put it on half throttle at this point. As we fly over all this forest. It looks like where I live, actually, with all these trees. There's so many trees, you can't even see the roads from Google Maps. From Google Maps or Google Earth. You can't see it. That's how much vegetation and trees there are where I live. And this is just exactly like it. So welcome to Pell City, Alabama. Time to land. Is this the airfield? Let me just pause. In real life, you'd be in dead meat, but first of all, in real life, you'd just be able to know. But it looks like we're not going to be able to know until we, say virtual cockpit. Now we could probably tell. Yeah, there's a runway. And I'm gonna deploy a little, I'm gonna put a little throttle. No, you don't deploy throttle, you deploy flaps, but... Alright, so here we are. I'm like... Oh, this is a crosswind landing. Cool. But... We're gonna have to, that means I hear, according to this, we probably have to... Oh shoot, when this thing lags, I hate when games lag, because it means it's a dangerous. Alright. We're safely on the ground. Now, we're not on the ground now, but now we are. Now, let's just come to a complete stop before we worry about, like, anything. Let's come to a complete stop. So we've just come to a complete stop on the taxiway. Now we need to turn strobe and landing lights off. Then we need to, what do we do? Oh, right, I know what to do. We need to deploy, we need to turn up the flaps. And now we just taxi over to the parking gate. The parking area. We just head over to the parking area. So pretty much we can just take this taxiway in. Okay, so where are we gonna park? Thinking about parking on this one, not because it's directly in front of me, just because I picked it. I don't know how to exactly, like, perfectly park, but I'm gonna try as good as you can possibly get. I'm gonna try a right wing, just to see, and then go a little farther, and then right wing again, go a little bit to the right, and just stop every couple of seconds. You see the arm of the virtual pilot just removing. That's safety precautions, so you can get exactly up to the line. Perfect, we got exactly up to the line. So now, turn off all lights, turn off all avionics, except for that. We don't want to turn them off. Throttles all the way down. And now we just turn off the engine. Hold on, because this is... Alright. Now let me just turn off the master switch, for a little bit. We can turn them back on for the, when we're recording the time. Anyway, that is, all for this episode of, Cross Country Flight. In the next episode of Cross Country Flight, we shall fly over the city of Birmingham, Alabama, and enter the state of Mississippi. Great, right when the, yeah, so we'll plan city skylines for tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Thursday. And then Saturday's is either more cross-country, which I doubt. It'll probably be either acrobatic flight, or we'll do the Phoenix to Anonymous City flight. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll be something. Anyway, now let's turn quickly on the avionics. Hold on. Let's just wait a couple seconds and just enjoy the scenery behind us. Just enjoy it as we see an Airbus A321 flying overhead. Obviously not going into this airfield. It's probably going into Birmingham. It is probably going into Birmingham. We don't know. But whatever. Anyway, now let's just quickly turn on the avionics just to see the time to record. So we got 7:58:23. Let's put down. Now let's just turn the avionics back down. I'm not waiting 40 seconds for that to turn off. So I'll see you Thursday with definitely City Skylines, and we can talk about what I want to do on Saturday and Monday. But that's it for this episode. I'll see you Thursday for City Skylines. Hopefully. I promise I will try my best.